Hello, welcome to the daily levels for Wednesday, May 22, 2024. I'm Sam Morton. It's about 8:11 a.m. Eastern. So there's a few things to discuss this morning. The levels are pretty spread apart. Here is the zone from earlier we've had on the board for a while between 532.10, 533.10. Now, I mentioned before, I believe it was yesterday's and last night's video, that they've been consolidating under this zone for a while. This is a longer term zone. In other words, it could take a while for price to get there, and it's not going to be like an immediate reaction, most likely. It could roll over if they get there. However, the way they're behaving on the larger time frames, like monthly, weekly, daily, and several of the larger time frames, like 4 hour, 3 hour, and so forth, kind of are saying or telling me that they might have a higher destination. So I've colored this a different color just because I'm not sure I'm going to want to take trades in here. However, these other zones here came out of the calculator this morning. This is pretty important. This is pretty important down here. There's a level here in the middle, basically the gap from where they closed yesterday around 5:30 something. Let's see, 5:31.32. I think the official close was a little higher than that, 5:31.35 or something like that. So they could react off that. They're below it now at 5:30.44 currently in the pre-market. You can see up here. Then there's a level down here and plenty of levels underneath this to catch price if they fall. But we'll just discuss that if and when it happens. Now, if you look at the larger time frames, like say a monthly chart, here is a level way up here at 538 that would make sense. I know it's a long ways from where they are now. However, this could be a target. This could be a destination on the longer time frames, because when you consider the monthly, the weekly, and really the daily even, but especially the longer term ones, the monthly and the weekly charts, they are on time for a pullback. It could be the end of the month. We can have another couple of weeks, but I'm not going to go into too much detail, and I don't want to make predictions. I'm not saying you should go out and buy a bunch of put options on the SPY for like a longer term play kind of thing, because I really don't care. For the kind of trading that I do like to know, at least during the day, what direction they might likely be heading, so I could either be more confident going in on long trades or going in on short trades, depending on the just the interim trend for the day or for the few days that I'm looking at the market. But for the longer term, I'm just saying that timing's about right for something to happen. Plus, all this climb up here for the last several weeks, several months actually, has been on very, very light volume, very low institutional participation, meaning it doesn't look like the professionals are involved in this. So at some point, they're going to be taking profits. And it depends on if it coincides with other kind of events. Things could happen, and it could push the market down, and then sellers could be dumping their positions. I mean, I shouldn't be saying all this because I don't want to predict it, but generally what happens is then all the other recreational traders start just dumping their positions and selling. And selling begets more selling, and then before you know it, price is falling pretty hard. But don't really know if it's going to happen from the all-time highs. They have a destination somewhere, and that 538 just seems to look pretty obvious based on a couple of things I'm looking at. But anyway, just thought it'd be kind of fun to mention that. Not making any predictions. If I'm right, that's great. If I'm not, well, does it really matter? Not really, because I'm looking at taking trades in the intraday session here based off pretty precise levels, and only looking for little scalp points here and there. They add up over time. There's little 4-point base hits, more if you can get them. But the levels that you see here will be used to trade against in the E-minis. We will come back to this chart after the market closes and analyze all the trades taken in the E-minis based off the levels here in the spiders. See you then.